Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. And I'm here today to talk to you about Goosebumps episode Welcome to Camp Nightmare. So this is a pretty cool episode. It's a little bit of confusing, but back in the day when I watched this, I thought was an amazing twist. Now that I'm older, I don't know if I still like the twist at the end. It's still cool, but I don't know if it's still as cool as I remember as a teen. Anyways, it's a group of kids and they're going to Camp Night Moon. Camp Night Moon, what kind of name is that? It's a large group of kids, male and female. One of the females, who has a very short part in this and a small speaking part, is Shannon Duff. She played Al on Kratts Creatures. And she was in an episode of episode of, what's it called? Are You Afraid of Dark? Her sister was in the famous Jet Jackson. And it's sad, you don't see nothing from these two girls no more. I don't even know what they look like no more. They just disappeared from the acting world and social media altogether and stuff. It's quite sad because I'm curious to see what they look like now. And every time Shannon's in a Goosebump episode, it's very brief. I'm like, no man, but thank God for Kratts Creatures. So anyway, Billy is our protagonist, and the bus driver is acting weird. He just throws the stuff out and he hightails it on out of there. Billy is offering his services, can he help and stuff. Billy is a very nice guy. He looks after people, he helps people. Then next thing you know, they hear a weird growling noise in the woods. All the kids are terrified. They're by themselves out in the middle of the road and not even at the camp. And so next thing you know, you hear an explosion and you see a man with a flare gun and he's all the latest technology. I'm like, a flare gun? It makes an explosion like that? Whatever, it's Fox Kids. I mean, if I can deal with Power Rangers, I can believe this, I guess. His name is Uncle Al, and he runs the camp. And he's this jolly, happy man and everything. And, he tells the kids, you're going to have the best time at camp and blah, 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 and write letters home to your parents and all this other stuff. He's just a jolly, happy man. And so he divides the guys and the girls, and he tells them, girls are forbidden and everything. So sadly, we don't get to see the girls no more, but we see one who befriends Billy towards the end. And so he tells them, never go in the woods and everything because it's dangerous. And as he's passing this bunk, he said, that's the forbidden bunk. You must never go to it. Anyway, so the boys are hanging out, getting to know each other a little bit. This is Billy's first time at camp because his parents are I think they're scientists or something, or they're relic hunters or something. They're always going on these trips and stuff. So it's cool he gets to hang out with kids his own age and stuff and go to summer camp. I kind of wish I would have went to summer camp. After watching Disney's Bug Juice, I'm like, man, I really missed out. And I had the opportunity one time, but I decided not to. Anyway, such a regret. Anyways, when they're in the bunk deciding which bed to go into, there's a giant snake in one of the beds. I hate snakes. Ugh. It bites one of the boys. So they have to get as much courage as they can to wrap the snake up in the blanket and the sheet and toss it out the window. In comes probably one of the best antagonists in Goosebumps history, Camper Larry. He's a camp counselor, older, and one of the rudest, nastiest people you ever met. They're all he just got bit by a snake and he needs to go to a hospital. And he's like, ugh, get that away from me. Maybe I have a Band-Aid somewhere. But he doesn't want to do anything about it. So later on at night, they're by the campfire and they're eating marshmallows. And the boy is really, really sick. And Billy's trying to do, comfort the dude, give him a hot dog, all this other crap. And so they tell Uncle Al what happened. Because Uncle Al want to know why are those two by themselves and not singing with everybody else. And so he tells them, the dude got bit by a snake. Uncle Al's are like, oh, I've seen worse, but we'll get you cleaned up and stuff like that. And he's pissed at Larry for not telling him. Well, on the way back and everything, the boys are walking one day, or one night, and they pass the forbidden bunk. They want to go, but Billy doesn't want to. He just wants to get that one dude back to the bunk. Well, they wake up the next morning, and the dude who got bit by the snake is gone. His has been made. All his stuff is gone. They don't know where he's at. So the guys, they go to Larry and everything, as Larry's eating breakfast. And when we see the counselors eating food, they're eating gruel while the counselors eat the good food. And so they want to know what happened to the dude and everything. And he's all like, "What are you talking about?" And they're all like, "The dude who got bit by a snake." And they're all like, "I don't know what the world you talking about." But Larry's being a total butthead and forces them all to I think, what is it? Do some type of activity, play baseball. And so as they're playing baseball, the one dude who's dressed kind of like he's like a gangster and everything. Like he's so hood and everything, with the bandana, sunglasses, and chains, and the tight black outfits and stuff like that. He has a helmet on. He's running to the base, and Larry throws the ball as hard as he can and clobbers the dude in the head and everything. And dude don't look so tough no more. But he had a helmet on, but it still put a big dent into the helmet. He is basically unconscious. And it's like Larry's all like, "Oh, it just slipped out my hand," and everything. And it's just like, so the counselor dude and Uncle Al, they're pissed. And this is a weird camp, man. You have Larry, who could care less, a dude who got bit by a snake, and nobody seems to know where he's at, because Billy asked Uncle Al, "Yo, where's the dude who got bit by the snake?" He's like, "Oh, I don't remember that person." But then he's all like, "Yeah, you do. You touched his arm and everything." And he's like, "Oh, he just went home and everything." Or he makes up some weird excuse. Like, there's always an excuse why people go missing. And it's weird. Like, a bunch of kids go missing and nobody that's older seems to care. So what the world's going on? And so one night, the guys, they want to go to the forbidden bunk. Roger and I think like Colin or something like that. And the one dude who's like supposedly tough doesn't want to go. And so Billy sees a sign on his wall that says something about Saber is hungry or something like that, and they don't know what the Saber is, but they heard that it killed a camper like a year before. In a way, tough dude doesn't want to go, and so the other two dudes, they go. Then all of a sudden you hear them screaming, and the one black dude, I forget his name, might be Colin, I can't remember, but he says, "Roger, like the saber, it got Roger, like it ate him and everything." And you just and we saw what the saber looked like, 'cause we see it running through the woods. It's like a giant wolf dog looking creature, monster thing, and it's huge. And you're kind of like, holy crap, that giant wolf thing got him and everything. And so the black dude's scared. He's like, it had giant glowing eyes and large teeth. And then we hear something banging towards the door. They're terrified. Him and Billy, they hide by the bed. The tough dude, he hides underneath the covers, and he looks like a giant cucumber in his like knapsack and everything, or camp sack or whatever it's called. So Billy, he picks up a baseball bat. He's ready to go to town, man, on the monster, like you do. And next thing you know, the door like pops open, and they scream. So then in the next episode, it's a two-parter. Gotta love those two-parters. Now, the part I don't like is that they didn't refilm the scene the same way they did before. So when it leaves on a cliffhanger, they're in a certain position, but now in the next scene they swapped. And also the black dude looked like he got like a trim on his haircut. So I can't help but notice that. But then it's Larry. He comes in. He wants to know what the heck are they doing and stuff. And they tell him Roger got ate. He's all like, who's Roger and everything. And it's like, how the heck does he not know? And so he kicks the one tough dude as he's like crumbled up in like his sack and everything. And so like they're weirded out. They don't understand the next day why nobody knows what the world is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is everybody acting weird and stuff? So they have to go out to like the boat in the lake and everything. And so the two friends of Billy, they start arguing a little bit as they pass the forbidden bunk. Anyway, they're out in like the lake, but Billy, he wants to use the phone to call his parents. He wants to go home. He is terrified of this place. So he finds the phone, but it doesn't work. And he sees Uncle Al, and he's all like, why doesn't the phone work? He's like, phone? And he just starts giggling and laughing, talking about, it's a fake phone. I put it up as a gag. He's like, there's no phones. There's no phone lines out here. But he tells, but he's all like, well, what kind of happened if something gets hurt? Like somebody gets hurt. And he's all like, nobody ain't gonna get hurt. He's all like, yes, there are. There are two people missing. And he's all like, I don't know who you're talking about. It's like, something weird is going on. So he tells Billy, you're supposed to write the letters back home. And so he makes Billy go back to the lake. The two dudes are out there, but then the boat flips over. And Larry's just kind of like, he was pissed because he's all like, y'all need y'all life jackets and stuff. But then he gives Billy one that doesn't even fit. He's like, just tie it around your head or something like that. Oh, Larry cracks me up. But then when Larry sees them go under, he's freaked out and he runs scared, pretending like he wasn't there. So Billy's the only person who can save the day. He goes looking for them, but he can't find them nowhere in the lake as he's putting his head under and stuff. He is so freaked out that he knows nobody is going to like help him. So at some point he runs back to his bunk and everything. And he changes clothes and he grabs that baseball bat, as one does. In a situation like this, he's about to start swinging for the fences if nobody gives him the answers he wants. And so like he's walking and he starts seeing letters and everything like just flying all in his face, and he reads one. It's a letter from a camper. They wrote it to their parents and talking about how they're scared and people are missing. So he goes into like the forbidden bunk, and there he finds the girl he met early in the episode. And she's talking about how like one of her friends got mauled by a bear and the counselor didn't want to do anything about it. So he knows there's something creepy going on. But then he sees more letters in like the bunk. They're from kids writing at home that the letters never got sent out. Then it happens. He sees a group of boys and they're looking for someone. She thinks they're looking for her. He goes out to see what the world's going on. Uncle Al and the counselors are dressed in hunting fatigues and everything. Camouflage and military fatigues. And they don't know what the world's going on, but Uncle Al is acting scary. He's acting all militant. And he says, we have a runaway, a girl. And he describes the girl. It's the same girl that was talking to Billy. And so, like, he arms them with, like, crossbows, mini crossbows. And he's all like, we must hunt this girl down and find her. And Billy's all like, you want us to shoot and kill her? And he's all like, don't be stupid, Billy. And he's all like, these are full with tranquilizer darts and everything. And he's all like, Billy, he's just like, he's had enough. And he points that crossbow at Uncle Al. He's all like, camp's over, man. You're going to start telling me what I want to know. And he's all like, where are all these missing people and stuff? And he's like, missing people? He has no recollection of any of these people ever existed. And so, like, it's like, what the world? And it's the music's getting more intense. And Uncle Al got the sunglasses on, so it just looks even more terrifying. Now, the crossbow. He shoots Uncle Al with it. Now, here's about the arrow. The arrow, there's two different arrows. When Billy is pointing towards the camera, it's a real crossbow arrow with a real tip. But when we see him pointing at Uncle Al, it has a suction cup at the end of it. So, of course, in case like he fires it by mistake, it won't kill the guy. Now, you can clearly see the suction cup, and you're like, this is supposed to be filled with a tranquilizer dart. But in a way, the arrow does not penetrate Uncle Al. And then he's all like, you got me. And then he's all like, you passed, Billy. Billy's just like, wait, what the world's going on? Because everybody's applauding him. Everybody's happy and smiling. Even Larry's smiling, talking about, you did good, Billy. You did good. And I'm just like, I'm with Billy. I'm just like, what the freak nuts is going on? And then we start seeing the kids that went missing. They start coming back, and they're all like, there's a rubber snake, and we was hiding in the air pocket, and the whole time underneath the lake, and the girl comes out, and he's all like, what the world is going on? He's all like, this is a training facility, and we're all actors working at a laboratory. In comes his parents. Apparently, they set this whole thing up. It's a military base. And Billy had no idea. See, the parents are going on a very special place, and it's dangerous. And so they needed Billy to be prepared in case they wanted to take him, because it's gonna be a couple of like months or years, and they didn't want to be away from Billy that long. And so like they said this was just a test to teach, his bravery, his skills, his self-awareness, him defending other people, stuff like that. So he asked them, like, and then the saber comes in, and it's just a giant robotic thing controlled by one of the dudes there. So he asked them, where are they going? Now, this is the second twist. The first twist is it being a military base. The second twist, he's all like, a place called Earth. And they look up, and we see Earth in the sky. And he's all like, he said he heard the aliens there are hostile, and you never know what you're gonna get from them. And at first, when I was a teen, I'm like, oh my God, that's insane. So this whole time, these people aren't even like human people. They're aliens that look like humans, and they're going to Earth to like infiltrate and possibly invade. I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, that's like some Earth final conflict type crap right there. And I'm like, that's an amazing twist. But now that I look at it and I'm older, I'm just like, I don't know if that twist holds up anymore. Like if you were to do that in like a movie, that would never hold up. It would be like too much of something out of Twilight Zone. It could probably work for TV, but now that TV has changed so much, I don't know if that second twist ending is gonna hold up and everything. It would have to be changed for like a modern audience and stuff. But all in all, this was like a really freaky episode that really kept you on the edge of your seat. That wasn't that spooky. All right, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.